Jeffrey Epstein built his power by attaching himself to the world's most influential people. Presidents, royals, and billionaires all appeared in his orbit. One of the most controversial names linked to him is Bill Gates, not because of crimes, but because of timing and the context of their interactions. This is the full, documented timeline of what reputable reporting has confirmed and what it has explicitly not confirmed. No rumors, no internet myths, just verified facts. In 2008, Jeffrey Epstein pleaded guilty in Florida to soliciting from a minor. He served a controversial 13-month sentence, much of it on work release. This conviction was public and widely known in elite circles, a fact that makes everything involving Bill Gates all the more notable. Crucially, all interactions between Gates and Epstein occurred after this conviction. There is no credible evidence of any contact before 2008. No meetings, no emails, and no financial ties. The first confirmed contact between Gates and Epstein occurred in 2011 at Epstein's Manhattan residence. Epstein had re-entered elite social circles after his conviction and positioned himself as a connector to wealthy donors. Gates has stated that the meetings were intended to discuss philanthropy and fundraising, particularly in the areas of global health. Over the next few years, from 2011 to 2014, Gates and Epstein met on several occasions, usually for dinners or discussions about charitable initiatives. Importantly, Epstein never held a formal role at the Gates Foundation. No joint projects were created, and no donations were secured through these interactions. During this time, Epstein also actively sought to rehabilitate his public image. According to emails reported by the Wall Street Journal, Epstein attempted to use intermediaries to influence Gates or his associates. One of the people mentioned in these emails was Boris Nikolic, a longtime scientific advisor to the Gates Foundation. Epstein's drafts suggested Nikolic could communicate with Gates on his behalf, although there is no evidence Nikolic ever sent these messages or endorsed them. Another person mentioned was Catherine Remler, a high-profile lawyer whom Epstein proposed could meet with Melinda Gates to present the other side of Jeffrey Epstein. These meetings never happened, and both Gates and Remler have denied any involvement. Epstein's strategy also included references to other Gates associates and even executives at financial firms, but none of these efforts led to Gates publicly vouching for or supporting Epstein. Among the emails released, there was a particularly sensational draft from 2013 in which Epstein wrote about Gates and alleged a sexually transmitted infection. The draft, which appears to have been written to himself and never sent, claimed that Gates had contracted an STD, sought antibiotics, and allegedly wanted to give medication to Melinda Gates without her knowledge. These claims are unverified and entirely from Epstein's own notes. Bill Gates and his representatives have strongly denied them, calling the allegations false and absurd, and there is no evidence Gates ever contracted an STD, requested drugs from Epstein, or acted on these claims. Reputable reporting treats these drafts as unsubstantiated material within Epstein's files, not confirmed events. In 2019, Epstein was arrested on federal charges, and media attention on Gates's past meetings intensified. That same year, Gates publicly acknowledged that meeting Epstein was a mistake. He noted that Epstein had not delivered on any philanthropic promises and expressed regret for giving him any credibility. Following Epstein's death in August 2019, Gates reiterated that it had been a serious lapse in judgment. In 2021, Gates expanded on these remarks, calling the meetings a huge mistake and emphasizing that he had cut off contact long before Epstein's final arrest. Later document releases included draft emails and communications showing Epstein attempting to leverage relationships, but Gates maintained that the claims were false and reiterated that he had no involvement in any wrongdoing. In summary, reputable reporting confirms that Gates met Epstein only after 2008, primarily between 2011 and 2014, for discussions on philanthropy. Epstein tried to use intermediaries to influence Gates and his associates, and he created lurid draft emails making unverified claims, including allegations about Gates's health. However, there is no evidence that Gates ever acted on these drafts or publicly supported Epstein. Gates now calls the relationship a mistake, and no criminal, sexual, or financial wrongdoing by Gates has ever been reported. Jeffrey Epstein's power came from proximity. In Bill Gates's case, that proximity was real and regretted, but it remains documented, limited, and post-conviction. Understanding this timeline is crucial in separating evidence from speculation.